Um, what it seems like we're talking about here today has nothing to do with knowledge, um, nothing to do with anything that could be learned, or there's no information here that is useful. This is not about anything intellectual or anything that is to do with wisdom or peace, or absolutely zero to do with knowledge. And in a way, it kind of shines a light on the idea of knowledge, and worse still, it shines a light on anything that could have anything. So, of course, if there was something on offer here, um, there would have to be somebody that could have it then. So in other words, there'd have to be somebody that could gain. And what's really being talked about here is that they're rather brutally, and no other way to say, but there is no one. And there is no one already in there, behind the eyes, under the crown of the head, pumping the heart and the blood through the system. There's just nobody in the body, and there's nobody anywhere. And obviously the entire world seems to say things that are totally to the contrary to that, and everything everywhere is the suggestion that you are there and you can make your life better. And really, from a very small age, that is how it is. It is, you are talked to, and we could try and figure out exactly how this sense of self forms, but it absolutely validates itself everywhere you look, everywhere you go. The story of self is validated, and you don't need to go too far, and you don't need to go anywhere really. And it is a sensory sensation that I am here and the world is out there, and that everything is real. I am real and the world is real. Time is real. Space is real. Everything is absolutely real. And there can be an absolute torture with that, with the sense of being a person and being someone, but also the explanation that is, given, that I am someone, or that, even that you give, perhaps, that I am someone, and that the world gives you back that you are someone. That explanation um, can somehow, that tightly held feeling or story that I am real and the world is real and everything is real, a crack can appear in that, let's just say, somehow. Could be something somebody says, it could be a gentle breeze, it could be a cup of coffee, who knows, but something, the tightly held story of the realness of everything, a cracks can show in it. And as a result of that, in let's just say, perhaps seeking for answers for the sense of realness, or an explanation as to what actually is happening, can occur. And seeking can happen, and seeking happens in a gazillion different ways, from money to lovers, whatever you want to describe, it seems to be called seeking. And um and then the best, or the most kind of revered of them all, is spiritual seeking. That spiritual seeking, and in a way, spiritual seeking, there's a kind of a feeling good about spiritual seeking. So, seeking money and a gazillion lovers isn't good, but spiritual seeking is somehow a little bit good. And that, and really, the whole spiritual thing does suggest something like, kind of, when you hear things like peace beyond understanding and bliss and wisdom, and when you see people talking or hear people talking, there is a kind of a feeling that they must know then, and they must have arrived at a place, and that they can tell me then what this is all about. And that can be something that is described, whether it is, whatever sort of speaker, teacher, spiritual seeking that seems to happen, it is always towards something that is better. So sitting on a chair, or the story being told about what's happening, this happening now, isn't enough. There has to be better than this. And so then, if this is talking about sitting on a chair, then he must know then about a better sitting on a chair. He must have definitely arrived at a place. And why on earth would he arrange a meeting and start talking if he didn't have something to offer, or if he hadn't arrived at a place that was better? Because that's the predominant. That's the way it is. Everybody has something to offer, and it seems that way. I mean, it's not. That's a general statement, but it seems that way, that wherever you go, whoever you talk to, that somebody has something to offer that can give me to make my life better. And really, what is being described here, what this sharing is about, is just ordinary sitting on a chair, and the total utter clueless wonderment about that, and that there really is nothing to be said, and that there's nothing on offer here, that there would have to be something gained or something known or something explainable or something that could be passed on, or some tips about how to get to a better sitting on a chair, when what's being described here is that sitting on the chair and breathing and hearing and is the miracle. Is the miracle that's beyond understanding, because you can't understand this suddenness. But then, it appears like this is somehow safe, this sitting on a chair that is noble. I'm sitting on a chair, I'm hearing a voice. This is a meeting about non-duality by a bald lad called Frank. This is all explainable and, noble. And this will come back to that. Yeah, that is a description that's appearing for what is, but it doesn't capture what is. It doesn't capture the suddenness of this, and nothing captures this, because nothing captures the sound and the hearing, because it's already too late. Even the description, this apparent description, is already too late. It's the suddenness of what's he saying. It's the suddenness of whatever is felt, but I am here. It's almost, that is this miraculousness, and it's before. It's before the word before. So yeah, that's really what we're talking about, simply what is, and however that is. And so within this what is, there might be questions, and if there are questions, just go for it. Ask whatever is there to be asked. Yeah, that's what this is. And if you haven't been to one of these before, just click the unmute button and ask whatever it is that you might like to ask, and let's see what happens.
Hi, Frank.
Yeah.
Thank you for having this morning one.
No problem.
We are in Australia. We can join you.
Very good.
Yes. I love your conversations. You didn't say this time, but when you say there's just this, what is this? There's a million things, this. You can't, you just said now, it's too late. You can't even say what this is, you know, because by the time you sitting on a chair, it's already past, you know.
Yeah, it's the hearing of it's too late.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's too late.
You could say, I mean, and that's a story then for this. That's supposed to explain it. It doesn't explain it. Nothing explains this. It's not explainable. It's actually just totally unbelievable, but wonderfully doesn't require any belief. Wouldn't it be? Yeah, I believe I'm sitting on a chair, right? Well, okay. No belief is required for this. But then it's already, you know, it's the hearing of no belief is required. It's not really, it's about, it's not about any word being said. It's yeah.
It's about nothing, really.
It's about nothing. And not a grey murky thing called nothing that's kind of awkward to imagine. It's this.
What's this?
Yeah, it's the hearing of it's this. And then it can be silence, but then the silence is objectified, you know. It's in the silence. Then people then imagine it's in the silence. Where's the silence? Oh, silence is another thing that. Oh, the silence. I love the silence, but where's the silence? It's not talking. Maybe. I love the not talking. What they really want to say is, I wish he'd shut up.
So is it for you, is like, do you feel that things like miracles or?
Yeah, miracle. I've noticed they use the word miracle. It's a kind of a dodgy word because it pings the mind to, you know, water and wine and Jesus and all the stuff he got up to, apparently. But it's the ordinariness of simply this happening and the inexplicableness of that. But you know, it's not that it doesn't require explanation, but it's just so hard to say anything without it being objectified, you know. But it's just this ordinary sitting on a chair. But then when you're saying when the person hears this, there's the imagination, well, it must be a better sitting on a chair. So there's no better. It's just sitting on a chair and the hearing of a voice and talking. And it's always, you know what I mean, that the person will wonder, oh God, it must be better. But there's no better. So, you know, the newness or the miracle could be feeling really shit. Like somebody's just put in the comment about feeling very vulnerable. That's the suddenness. That's this. That's the newness. But then there's the imagination, because sometimes there can be the impression that something's on offer, so that it can't be feeling vulnerable. It can't be that. It has to be feeling brilliant all the time, feeling brilliant all the time. Feeling crap is not it. I'm getting closer. And that's, you know, the dream story as well of, I'm getting closer to this. I'm feeling great today, so I must be getting closer. And when I'm feeling crap, God, I'm really, really just, it's not going well. I must be a million miles away. It is feeling crap. So it's whatever is apparent happen. And so you could say it's the miracle of that, or you could say it's the total cluelessness of that, and that you could, you know, read a bazillion books and you wouldn't have to do feeling vulnerable or feeling crap, but that is just what appears to happen, and that there's nobody doing anything.
So for you, like, do you feel the suddenness?
It's not that I feel
Like,
that anything. It's just that there is just what's appearing to happen, and that's as large as the story gets. Because then what can be heard is that, oh, Frank knows there's just what's appearing to happen. No, there's just what's appearing to happen, and so do you need to know that there's just is it something to do with knowing this? Is it something to do with a belief? Is it something to do with you say this is not it? Great. So that's what it is then. Or that there is a self. Okay, that is what is then. That's what's been described. If that's what's fully believed, and so all there is just simply what's happening. Responding, cup of coffee, computer, whatever you want to call it. That's ordinary, just what is. And somehow then that's just ordinary what is kind of just the images is that it must be he must be talking about better what is. He must be, because he wouldn't be talking. He must be saying that it's better, or that he's not saying that.
Yeah, but even like you, it's very likely that if you feel crappy, that you might want to feel better. So you might want to meditate, or you might want to talk to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
In a way that you most likely will, if a car coming towards you, you move out of the way.
Yeah.
There might still be things happening to feel better.
Yeah.
But it just won't be attached to a person.
Yeah, when the last bit's just a kind of an image of, well, it just won't be attached to a person. All that's been said here is that there's just what's appearing to happen, and there's no one doing anything. So if feeling bad and wanting to talk to a psychotherapist is happening, that's what is. There's, or if there's meditating, and somebody's getting whatever out of that, then that's how it is then. There's total cluelessness about what all that's been suggested here is that there's nobody doing anything. So there's nobody growing the grass, the leaves, and nobody asking that question there.
It still sounds so
and nobody doing the sense of, yeah, but there is though.
Sounds good, even if it's crappy.
It's unbelievable. This is just unbelievable. It's just whatever it appears to be then. And it's totally free to be exactly how it is, without the ideas of it being other. And then if there's a kind of feeling gone, I wish it was this way, then that's just what's happening. Do you know? It's just totally so ordinary that even saying so ordinary kind of, you can't say a word, because everything then appears like you're talking about something, or and really what's being talked about is just this. So asking a question, response.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank.
Hey.
Do you know that the words that there is no one and no one is trying to kill me, they were originally words of Kyklop in Odyssey.
Right.
When there was this Kyklop, Polyphemus, and he had prisoned Odyssey, and he asked the name of Odyssey, and he say that my name is no one.
Mm.
And then when they tried to kill him, and other Cyclops asked that, why are you shouting? And this Cyclops said that because no one is trying to kill me. And then the other Cyclops thought that he had gone insane. So I was wondering if today I go to work, and if I say to my co-workers that there was no one and he tried to kill me, they probably would thought the same, that I have gone insane.
You're already dead, Mika. You're already.
But I was wondering.
You're already not there.
I was
asking that question.
Yeah.
You're already.
Yeah.
So there's no one to be killed by no one.
I was wondering about these old stories, that they may have been something similar, but they have been contaminated during the time somehow.
Yeah,
maybe it's
yeah,
also
it's everything is possible. You really don't know. You can have a good guess at that's what they're perhaps we're talking about, but no one trying to kill no one, you know. But do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean it's there potentially in songs and art and poetry. It's there. I think, but it's mostly. I mean, you have to really kind of. It's as everything though. So in other words, we love that somebody somewhere might have been talking about this, or you know, that it's in books, and you know, the Zen that can be spoken about is not the Zen, and that you know, it's there. But then you see, we love the dramaticness of. I remember somebody saying to me, "This is about your death. This is and in a way, it's the death of death, though. You know, or if no one is trying to kill me, is still there has to be someone there. So there is no one there." And it's just, it's unbelievable. It's totally unfathomable or whatever for the mind. And it includes, but I am here, Frank. See, but you're already not there. Like, that's what this is saying. So there isn't a story about falling away. There isn't liberation. There isn't anything. Already not there. And that's not a knowing. So scrap that. There's just simply what is, and then whatever appears to arise then.
But there is fun in storytelling.
Oh, yeah. There is, yeah. We are the story makers. Everything is a story. I love stories. It's just that it is amazing. You know, sometimes we imagine that some stories are the true stories. They must be true. Okay, we'll all agree that Santa Claus, sorry for some of you that might still believe, but, you know, Santa Claus' story is not real, but other stories are real. And then finally, non-duality is the real one. That non-duality at least is the real, and especially the uncompromising. That one is the one. You know, that's the one. Everything is a story. There isn't a real anything. And saying, you know, the hearing of there isn't a real anything, that's also a story. It's just amazing. And in a way, then it's the, you know, the pressure is off everything. Everything is the laden down with meaning, and all that just can collapse, you know, and just free to be then exactly how it appears to be. To be being. Being.
Yes.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
Yeah, I'm really thinking a lot of times that I did too much Buddhist teachings and meditations.
Mm. Yeah.
Because so when there was a feeling of vulnerability and in their teachings, it has to do with the I.
Right. Yeah, it says it all in the way when it's teachings, you know. It's the imagination that it can't be pure, raw vulnerability then. Has to be an image. It's always an image of how it should be or could be or would be as opposed to how it is. So pure, raw vulnerability happening is not it. It has to be, that's a something of the I. It's like, but then feeling blissful, wise, assured, confident, speaking with conviction, and really all-knowing, that's definitely nothing to do with the I. That's something totally different. And so if feeling, vulnerable is what's happening, then that's how it is. It's miraculous, but or actually it's just pure vulnerability is what it is, just happening, and you can't do that, and it's just how it is.
Okay.
But it's always then lost in the idea of path and earning and a way and an arrival. This is the arrival, and this is the arrival. This is it. Here, this thing, whatever is happening, this outpouring, this unfolding, that's what's longed for. Pure, edgy aliveness, full to the brim with whatever is appearing to happen. And it's always then in the Buddha's teachings and all them, it's always a kind of the underpinning is an authority. So that somebody knows then, so you know what vulnerability is, do you?
No.
Vulnerability is just what's happening, and it's called, you could say it's just energy, but it's called vulnerability. It's called something. So that then makes it a thing, and then that makes it a thing that should be perhaps avoided and pushed away, and then meditate to avoid that in a way. It's always techniques and tips and processes and ways to, it isn't, because that's just what is as well, but it is almost like just trying to kind of protect that, and it's just a total, God, it really is, in a way, it's much ado about nothing, because that's the secret, going round and round and round and round to avoid what is. So what do you get? You get life, but you just don't get to get it. What do you get? You get what is. You just don't get to get what is. How can you get and hold vulnerability and push it away? You really just kind of have to lock yourself in a in a totally protected thing here and go, I'm not vulnerable. I mean, you're not vulnerable. There's just vulnerability. You're not anything. And there's not even just vulnerability. There's just what appears to be happening. And in that description of can appear words like vulnerability or nerves or awkwardness or anxiety. But that's the edge of everything. And there isn't an edge. This is full on, full to the brim. And just what it appears to be.
Thanks.
Thank you. In a way, this is total vulnerability. I can't remember whether I said 10 to 11 or 10 to half 11, but I'm saying 10 to 11 now.
11, 10 to 11.
10 to 11, okay. Anyway, thank you all. I'll see you
Thank
later.
you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Frank.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you,
Bye.
Frank.